The AI bubble is about to burst. This is what many in Silicon Valley are saying. Maybe true, maybe not, but here's what is true. Last year, 650 billion went into AI and 1.1 million jobs disappeared at the same time. I've seen cycle this before. .com, real estate, crypto, and I get to sit in a boardroom deciding which AI projects gets million in funding and which jobs are going to at stake. The story is always the same. The same smart ones, the top 1% position themselves early and win whether the crash comes or not, while the rest suffers. So in this video, I want to share the exact playbook so you can stay ahead, become harder to replace, and future-proof your career before it is too late. The first thing you need to understand, you have less time than you think. Imagine standing on a beach, the ocean suddenly pulls back. You look at your ankles and think, well, I'm dry, looks perfectly safe, but 1,000 miles away, sensor shows a wall of water racing towards the shore at 500 miles an hour. That's what happened in every single tsunami. And the receding water movement is exactly where we are with the AI right now. Shane Lee, co-founder of Google's DeepMind, puts it very bluntly. He says, if your job is 100% done on a laptop, you are competing with AI that cost pennies. This AI tsunami reaches us. It will create two zones for us. The high ground where the 1% will survive and the captures millions in wealth and success. And the flood zone where perhaps 99% of the people will end up stranding. Which brings us to second thing you need to know. How to recognize if you are standing in the flood zone right now. I was in a meeting watching an AI product demo last month. Beautifully designed, lightning fast responses, cutting edge AI. But when I asked how many customers use this daily, there was a silence. The response was, well, we are not ready for prime time yet, but we are working on it right now. And I nodded and I smiled and said nothing. But the translation, $1 million science project. And that's the flood zone reality. Great demos, zero cash, zero customer. So how do you know if your company is in the flood zone? You can apply a framework I call RAIL, R-A-I-L. Just 4 questions takes about 50 seconds. R is revenue. Is your AI used by real paying customers? And if the answer is, well, we are still planning or eventually we'll get there, that is a red flag. If you are leading a project with no clear revenue path, you are going to be the first one on the chopping block. No revenue, no board. A is acceleration. Can you deliver something real to customer in 2 weeks? Because if you can't, somebody else will for sure. So figure out where the friction is and how can AI remove it. This is your efficiency play. If you can't show real improvement in speed and efficiency from AI, it is a flood zone. I stand for in market. So it's possible that you might be working on an internal tool. Now that's not going to generate cash directly, but that's fine. But is it in the hands of your real user? Is it gathering real data? If it is just sitting on a shelf in a test environment, it is not a business asset. It's a hobby. And finally, L is learning. Are you learning from a real customer use? This fourth one is a deal breaker because 1 week of watching customer break your products teaches you more than 6 months of internal testing. Also, the pace of AI is so flourishing right now that if you are not constantly learning, you are already losing. And I have spoken about companies like Cursor before. They are an AI-based product that helps you write code, find daily basis, launching a new feature every single day. This is the velocity of innovation that we will have to get used to. I'm still getting used to it. If your answer is not to at least 2 out of those 4 questions, the company you are going to build or working for might be in the flood zone. We have to ask the most important questions, right? How do you get out of the flood zone? How do you get to the high grounds? You get there with the right map. the map that 99% of the people will never see. All you need is a simple map that shows you the three layers where the money is made. Layer number one, infrastructure. And this is where the fabs and chip makers and the cloud and energy provider lives. This is a game of a massive capital. Unless you are Nvidia or have loads of funding backing, it is hard to win here. Layer number two is the frontier model, like ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, XAI, and all the tooling companies around those models. This layer is consolidating really fast. Everyone's copying each other features. Price per token has dropped 98% in last 18 months. And also, open source models are closing the gap. They are 80% as good, but way cheaper. So think about it. You would not start an internet search company today, would you? Why start a Me Too model company? This makes no sense. Now, think about the dot-com era. Remember the companies that laid fiber optics cables? Most of them are bankrupt now. The ones who build app on the top like Amazon, YouTube, PayPal, they won. And that brings us to layer number three, which is about apps and services. This is the interface, the solution. This layer is where the value is captured. If you're starting something on your own, this is where you should focus. Now, there are three ways to think about this layer: horizontal AI apps, vertical AI apps, and AI services. Horizontal AI apps work for everyone. So think of an app like Gamma for presentation or Perplexity for AI-based searches. Huge market, but it is a distribution battle. You need millions of users to become profitable. Vertical apps, on the other hand, go deep. Think like Cursor for developers or Open Evidence for medicine. Small market, but you own your niche. And finally, AI services, and they are the implementation layer. Companies like Scale AI has proven that humans in the loop is a massive business opportunity because they handle the messy data work that models cannot do yet. The second big service opportunity here is integration. And I know boutique firms right now that charge $50,000 a month to help traditional companies plug AI into their workflow. And they are not building software, they are just implementing it. They are the experts who charge you to set it up. So that's the map. Layer number 1 and 2 are where the giants are fighting. Layer number 3 is where you can build something amazing. Here's most people miss. Knowing the map is not enough, right? You need to know how to avoid the potholes when you are moving to the high grounds. That's why number 4 is about avoiding the potholes when you get to the high ground. The job apocalypse from AI may be inevitable, but it is not here yet. Sure, hiring has slowed down, but companies are still hiring at a slower pace. And the companies that are laying off people first are also the earliest adopter of AI. Microsoft, Amazon, Meta, Google, and others, and they are cutting non-AI role-based to fund AI talent. So in this world, if your job is to maintain the status quo, you are unfortunately in the flood zone. So to get to the high ground, you have to move fast. AI will automate the scripted part of your job. Your survival depends on owning the strategic part. It doesn't matter if you are a software engineer or a consultant or a data annotator or accountant or analyst. The pattern is going to be the same. Scripted work gets automated, strategic judgment stays human. Here's your 3-step action plan. First step, audit your job. How much of your day is scripted versus strategic? Scripted work is like the mind-numbing repetitive activities, processing data, summarizing meetings, drafting standard internal emails, and writing boilerplate codes. Strategic work is about solving problems no one has seen before, building client relationships, designing system, architects, catching edge cases that AI sometimes misses. So audit your work and divide into these two categories: scripted, strategic. Step number 2, fire yourself from the scripted parts. Automate all of it before your boss does it for you. And step number 3, reinvest that time in developing your human edge on the strategic side. Now, this sounds counterintuitive somehow, but I work less on execution now and more on daydreaming. I actively disconnect Stare out the window, take long walks, and from the outside, it may not look like work at all. But this is deep work because deep thinking requires silence, not scrolling. It requires imagination, not information. This is where you can connect the dots that others cannot see. Cultivating these right habits alone won't save you, not without the right mindset. The final framework you should know is the 3 R's. The top 1% who will make it to the high ground will all share 3 things in common. The 3 R's: rigor, relationship, and resilience. There are hundreds of AI startups in healthcare. They have come and gone. But open evidence is worth 350 billion right now, and it is used by 40% of US doctors daily. Why? Rigor. They fine-tune their AI with such meticulous, peer-reviewed research and human feedback that doctors just love it. They evaluate every edge case that would break most of other startups. They understood their domain and their rigor it takes to succeed in it. And the data back this up. BCG and Harvard run a study with consultant and using ChatGPT 4. Those with deep understanding of their domain got 40% better results. Those without, only 12%. So that's the first thing you need to stay on high grounds: rigor. Deep understanding of your domain and your process, your data, not surface level knowledge, but deep mastery of what you do. Second R is relationships. I learned this simple truth while working at a company in London about decades ago. It was long hours, brutal pace, so I was there till late night most of the time, and I would always keep my office door open in the evening. My colleagues would stop by and we would have a chat. One of my colleagues would often stop by and we would talk for a while about loads of things about his career, his peers, what he really wanted to do. And years later, he became the CEO of £150 million worth of company. And he told me that those conversations changed his mindset and trajectory, not because I said something profound, but because someone actually was listening. He felt seen and we were able to build a strong relationship. Every major move in my career, Wall Street, tech, CEO, IBM, HP, advisor, happened because of my personal relationships, not my resume. In a world where AI can generate anything, you have to generate trust. And the final R is resilience. If you think about the stories that inspires us, there is always a pattern. Steve Jobs fired from the company he founded, came back 12 years later and saved it. Shah Rukh Khan, a long series of flops, then he came back and becomes the king of Bollywood. Mandela, 27 years in prison and emerging to become the president of South Africa. We all love the comeback stories. The ones who fails but still endure, adapting, surviving, staying in the game long after everyone else has quit. Resilience and adaptability are edge in our human DNA. When I was young and going through massive challenges in my life, my teacher told me a story. He said, imagine a small wave racing towards the shore. The wave sees the rocks and starts panicking. It screams into the ocean. Why aren't you afraid? Look ahead. We are going to crash. It's over. And the oceans look back and smile and says, you still don't understand, do you? And says, you think you are wave. You are water. You are the ocean. Most external things in our lives are waves. Titles, roles, markets, technologies, they rise and they fall. But your rigor, your relationships, your resilience, that's the water. The form changes, but the substance remains the same. Let the tsunami come and the waves will crash. In the long run, you will survive and thrive. I hope that you go find your high ground. There is still time. If you like this video, please subscribe so others may find this. Thank you so much.